Hello everyone, my name is Wojtek and I make video games, and over the last few days I've been watching Edmund Macmillan's Let's Plays of his own video game, Eugenics, and it seemed like a fun way to promote your game, so I thought I would do the same for my video game, Super Shapeshooter. And this is it, this is Super Shapeshooter, it's my game, it's my small stylized bullet hell, roguelike, maybe? What is a roguelike? I don't know. Does anyone know anymore? But if you like roguelikes, then sure, this is a roguelike. Whatever gets you to buy the game. And this is the Steam version that I'm playing. This is the version of the game that will be coming out into early access on the 12th of December. I've been playing on this particular save file already for, let's see, 2 hours. And I've unlocked 86% of the stuff in the game because I'm good at the game. Because I made it. So I've unlocked a good amount of stuff, so hopefully that will make for a good demo. And this is the meta progression system that I'm going to show off before we play the game. You can spend your tickets that you get for playing the game on permanent upgrades for your guy. Anyway, let's get into the video game itself though. I've reset the tutorial so I can show it off. You are this spinning square. You are a shape. This is the player. The green little circle is the dash charge. So when you dash, it recharges, circle comes back, and so on. Anyway, let's do the tutorial. So here's the dashing tutorial. In the tutorial, I make you dash through an obstacle because the dash has iframes. So I want players to know they can dash through enemies without taking damage. This is the shooting tutorial. Now for all the eagle-eyed viewers in the audience, you might have noticed that it says left click to shoot your left weapon. This does in fact let you in on a little secret, the secret being there's two weapon slots in Super Shapeshooter, the left click and the right click, the left hand and the right hand. And you can click this arrow button in the middle to switch your hands. So now my only weapon, my pea shooter, is in my right hand, which means I have to right click to shoot it, and the reload indicator appears on the right side of my character now. In Super Shapeshooter, every item retains some of its value that it was worth when you bought it in the shop. In this case, it's 1. And if I right click and hold on this item, it'll get recycled and I'll get 1 credit. This game also has abilities. So for the purpose of the tutorial, I give the players the shockwave ability. And you press space to use it. And it looks cool. And it does that. Pretty cool. Okay, well, this is the actual game. Wave 1 is pretty simple. It just spawns some of the most basic enemy in the game, which is the Seeker. You kite them, you shoot them, you get the XP gems. And when you level up, you have these few decisions to make. You can pick the heart, which just gives you an extra health point, pretty simple. You can pick the dash, which gives you an extra dash, so you can dash multiple times in quick succession, which is pretty cool. Or you can pick the credit. The credit one is interesting because every time you pick it, the value of this choice increases by 1 until it maxes out at 10 credits. But it's pretty cool because if you pick this 10 times in a row, you can just get 10 credits every time you level up from that point onwards, which is pretty powerful. And this is the shop. There's a few things you can do in the shop besides just buying the things you see. First of all, you can heal. The cost of the heal increases by 1. It's hidden behind me, but it says heal. You can reroll if you don't like what's in here, and you can buy, of course, but you can also right click on an item if you want to save it. So if I right click on the railgun, it gets locked, and now if I reroll, it stays, and it will also stay between waves. So the next time I'm in the shop, the railgun will still be here. And you can also burn items. So I have 1 burn. You can increase this through meta progression. And if there's an item I know I will not want to use, let's say this tether ability, I can just burn it and it won't appear anymore in the shop for the rest of the run. I'm gonna just buy the Stinger because I like it. I'm gonna switch hands, so it's in my left hand and it's my main weapon, and I'm gonna lock the railguns for the next time I'm in the shop. And this is the enemy screen between every wave. You can decide how difficult the next wave is going to be. I max it out because it's early on, and for each press of the button, your payout will increase by 1, but a random enemy will be selected from a pool of enemies and added to the rotation. So these are gunners, they shoot at you. These little ones, they move between shooting, and the big guys are just turrets. They spawn in and they stay there until you kill them. These very small squares are seekers. They simply follow you. They're very quick, but they also die in one hit. They just take 1 damage and they never drop any experience. And through like hopefully varied cast of enemies, I hope to make an environment where players have to think about who they focus, who they shoot first. Okay, so in the shop, when we have money this time, I am gonna buy my railgun. Oh wait, I need to get rid of my pea shooter. Okay, I'm gonna buy the railgun. I don't want any of these weapons. I'm gonna re-roll. I'm not interested in these either. But actually, while I'm here, I should explain. Weapons are red. These things, the green things, are trinkets, and trinkets go in these 4 slots here. They modify the stats of your character, of your weapons, and so on. These purple icons are abilities. They go in this slot, like the shockwave in the tutorial. And there is another category of item, which is called a consumable. Consumable doesn't take an item slot in your inventory. It's displayed in these empty areas around the player in the middle. Consumables are meant to be these interesting modifiers on the game. In this case, it's an investment consumable. You can invest 20 credits and you'll get 50 credits back after 8 waves, for example. But there's other modifiers that you'll see throughout this run that I will show off. What I'll buy is the shockwave ability. And once again, we'll go into the max level payout. The cool thing about the railgun is that it has infinite penetration, which will come into play in some of the later waves, and I'll explain it more there. And then as a comparison, you can see that this Stinger doesn't have any penetration, which means as soon as the bullet hits something, it dies. It just disappears, right? It's a very simple wave. I'm getting very lucky. Okay, that was super easy. Let's see. Gunslinger I love. This description is outdated and I need to update it because it no longer has an impact on penetration. That's why it says 0. But in its current state, the Gunslinger just reduces your reload time, which is great. I'm going to buy the railgun upgrade, and the stick, I'm not going to buy it, but I will talk about it. The stick is a melee weapon of infinite penetration. It doesn't do much damage, but what it does do and what is unique about it is it lets you parry enemy projectiles. So if there's an enemy bullet coming at you, you can hit it with a stick and you'll reflect it back at the enemy. The weapon's not the greatest, it's kind of a meme weapon, but I'm using it as a little challenge for the players because there are other unlocks locked behind you getting parry kills. Okay, this is wave 4. We're gonna go all in again. I want to build a good base for my character. I want to have a lot of money, so I'm going all in. I'm gonna let some enemies spawn so I can show you the infinite penetration on the railgun. Boom, so satisfying. So yeah, the game is all about always moving and making good decisions about who you target and when you do it, and just being aware of your surroundings. Kill this guy, kill that guy, boom. Okay, another thing worth mentioning is the reroll system. You have a certain amount of rerolls, and for every level up, I want to say, you get an extra reroll. But if you run out of rerolls, you can just spend money. So if you have no more rerolls, you can just pay 1 credit per shop reroll like this. Slows down enemy projectiles. I am just gonna buy Gunslinger and reduce my reload, I think. So this is wave 5. This is the first stage during the run where I introduce the first set of the more difficult enemies, and you can see them here. So we have the Charger, which when you get it in distance, when a certain distance away from it, he will charge at you, as the name suggests. And the Bomber. The Bombers explode, they don't have much health, and they go towards the player. When they get in the range, they get armed and they stand still before they explode. So you can do this cool thing where you get in range, you activate them, and then you run away, and they explode. And the explosions affect other enemies around them. So let me show you. This is the bomber. I'm gonna kill that guy. Look, I get in range, he's armed, run away, boom, and he clears the enemies around him. Those were the charges that just tried to get me. I'm gonna pop my shockwave to clear the scene a little bit. I think the bombers are scary, but they really make the game dynamic. Glass cannon, great item, right? Doubles all damage, but locks your max health at 3 hearts. I'm gonna heal once, and I'm gonna take this opportunity to talk about the damage system in this game. Specifically for player damage, it's very simple. Contact damage and bullet damage from enemies deals 1 damage across the board always. And when I say bullet, I mean all projectiles, so it's all the later blaster projectiles and lasers, everything deals 1 damage. And explosions, like the bombers, deal 3 damage. So, right now, with 3 hearts, a bomber could kill me in a single hit. And that's what makes the glass cannon so risky. Those big guys you're seeing, those are the splitters. And when they die, they burst into some random number of the basic enemy, the Seeker. They're not very difficult enemies, but they just add a fun dynamic. Since the bombers have entered the stage, I think I'm gonna get an additional heart so that if I get caught by an explosion, I won't die straight away if I have 4 hearts. That was a close call. I framed through the explosion there. Beautiful. Oh, I get hit. Not great. I'm gonna pop my ability. Get that heart. So as you might have noticed, at one point up here there was a health drop. It's a little green heart that's on the map, and it just heals you. It's a much more rare drop than XP, but it happens. This time I'm gonna get an additional dash charge, so I can dash quickly like that twice. Also something to keep me safe around the bombers. The bomb suit is an interesting trinket. It just reduces explosion damage, so now it would be 2 damage if an explosion gets to me. I'm gonna lock it, and I might potentially buy it on my next run. What would I want to buy? I'm not very happy with these. I'm gonna buy Gun Nut, which reduces my weapon reloads by ½ a second every time I pick up. So if I have an active reload, if I'm waiting for my railgun to be reloaded and I pick up a gem, it'll reduce ½ a second from that reload time. Nice line up there. I'm gonna pop my shockwave and get these guys. I didn't make much money on that one. I'm just gonna go straight into the next wave. We're getting lucky and we're getting a lot of splitters to spawn, which is good for blocking the other enemies. But it can also be bad when you get trapped by them, which happens every now and then. But I'll just let them live and I'll kite all the other enemies and clear them out before I deal with the splitters. Beautiful. I'll pop my ability for fun. Just more credits. I just want money. Nice. 27 credits. Pretty good. I am gonna get a bomb suit. Life insurance is fun. So if you die and you are worth a lot of money, you'll get 25% of your net worth on the next run, which is an interesting item because, you know, it takes up a slot out of your very limited trinket slots, but it lets you build up some wealth and make the next run much easier. I'm gonna reroll. This is a fun consumable. It lets you go on the wages beyond 10. So you can make more money. You can make the waves even riskier, make more money, but it's scary too. So this is a new enemy. It's the Shielder, and it doesn't do any damage. just contact damage, and what it does is it will randomly select an enemy on the field and put a shield around them, which is indestructible unless you have an infinite penetration weapon like the railgun, or an explosive weapon like the shockwave, or like a nearby bomber that explodes. And also the spikes, I don't know if I've explained them on this run, but they cannot be destroyed. They are simply a nuisance on the map. So if you shoot them, they don't take any damage. They bounce around the stage and deal contact damage. So it's something to be aware of when you have high penetration on your weapons, because it makes it so much easier to hit spikes by accident and then make them bounce into you. So there's a shielded turret. And now I can just railgun because I have a railgun. If I didn't have a railgun, I can just focus the shielder first, and then the shield goes away, right? It's very simple. This is scary. You can see the spike though. I will buy a stinger upgrade. This is a fun item if you stack health, I guess. I love agility. Agility is just a movement speed increase, which I'll buy now. Yeah. Okay, so this is wave 10. As it stands right now, in a standard run, on wave 10, 15, and 20, you fight a boss. Wave 20 being the final boss, and which if you defeat him, you get a win. You completed the run. This is one of the 7 bosses in the current version of the game. You can increase the stakes. It is what it is. You get a 10 payout every time. And this is the Orbiter, which spawns these little guys around him, and he sends them at you. And then they come back, so you have to avoid them continuously. Not the hardest boss. It's meant to be one of the easier ones. A boss that just keeps you moving, you know? Keeps you on your toes. Because the game is all about always being on the move and trying to shoot something. Those little guys have different behavior depending on how much health the boss has. There's some phases to this fight, so right now they simply charge at me in different patterns, right? So I died there, okay? And because I have a meta upgrade called Revive, I have 1 revive per run, and I died, I turned into a ghost, and now I can get myself into a safe spot and then hold down M1 and I'll respawn. And you might have noticed that when I died, my health max, I used to have 4 hearts, now I have 3. That's just a consequence of how the revive meta upgrade works. Now these guys are turning into bombers as well, because it's a later phase of the boss fight. Oh my god. Okay. That was cool. I'll just get some money this time around. I love to just trigger them as soon as possible so they don't catch me off guard. That's terrible. The bombers are not as scary as they seem at first. You can really get used to the range, so you can trigger them and leave before they hit you pretty consistently with some practice. That's the boss. Okay, I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna buy the agility upgrade, and we're gonna reroll. You know what? We'll reroll again and again. I'm just spending my money. The eraser is a consumable, which if you had other consumables which have negative effects, you can wipe them out, because some consumables will give you negative effects in return for more money or more experience, and this just lets you get rid of them if you're tired of it. Wave 11. I do have the bomb suit. Okay, so bombers are not as scary anymore. I would like to upgrade my stinger a little more now. I'm really not doing the kind of damage I would like to be doing. It's getting very overwhelming. Always just have to keep moving and keep picking off the most dangerous targets. Oh, I love a free heal if I can get it. Boom. Nice. Okay, we have a stinger upgrade and it will increase my damage. So we'll buy that. I think at this point, I am happy to just keep rolling for the items I have and keep upgrading them. So I'll lock the shockwave in place. Glass cannon is, you know what? I'm gonna lock the glass cannon and hopefully save enough for it, and we'll sell one of these trinkets when I have the chance. This is another new enemy. It's the sweeper. The sweeper gets to an edge of the screen, the left or the right edge, and it deploys lasers, and it creates a deadly vertical line that goes across your screen. And you can either dash and iframe your way through the deadly line or destroy the sweeper itself. So there's the sweeper. As you can see, he's moving into position. I'll let him deploy his laser. So and that's what it looks like. And there's two of them. We'll line them up the railgun. Pop. Pop. Very nice. They are definitely a good target to prioritize if you have them on your screen. Another level up decision. I am going to get another dash, because I am pretty dead set on getting glass cannon when I can afford it. I'm going to use my shockwave to clear the screen. An upgraded shockwave is great. I love the railgun exactly for that purpose. I can just like find the most dangerous enemy on the screen and like pick him off in one hit, you know, when the railgun is ready. It's super powerful for that specifically. Okay, how much is this? That's gun nut is worth 2 credits, and I have 13 credits. So if I do 110 payout wave, oh, and that's really good. That's really lucky. All the scary enemies did not get included, so I will be able to afford glass cannon after this wave. I like to just leave the big guys while I deal with the actually scary enemies. I don't like the fact that I have 1 health right now. It's kind of scary. Okay, there we go. Fuck me. Okay, I can clear the rest of this. No health. Not a single health drop. I could risk it, right? I could risk it. Let's be risky. Let's get the glass cannon. And let's just keep this one simple. I mean, look at these stats now. You know, the Stinger, there's 4 damage per bullet. The railgun, there's 8 damage per shot. Like, really good damage. Even the shockwave now deals 8 damage. And it's all because of the glass cannon. Super strong item, but super dangerous. Okay, I got my health back. I love this health though. Like oh, this item, I mean, it feels so good. So much damage, you just clear everything. At this point, I love what I have in my inventory. I'm just gonna prioritize leveling up the things I have, right? So I'll reroll until I get what I want. Piercer would be good, actually. I would replace the gunslinger with a piercer, and I would love to have extra penetration on the Stinger. I think that could be really cool. I will try that actually, yeah. Okay, this is the second boss we'll encounter. It's the snake. The snake is not damageable unless it goes red, right? And there's 2 snakes. One snake follows you, and the other snake does circles and shoots at you. And the railgun is actually a great weapon against the snake because you can shoot through its length and like that. And you don't necessarily have to aim for the red segment super carefully, right? So because of how good the build is, this fight becomes easy. Oh. Very nice. So we have 21 credits. And I am in fact going to buy the piercer and upgrade my shockwave and heal for 1. Why not? Just a few more waves until the final boss. Get rid of that one. Make some space on this side of the screen. Get him now. Get this guy here. Overconfidence is a fun consumable. It's free because it changes the game so much. It forces you to start every wave at 10 payout, which means the most enemies possible, basically, but all your experience is doubled. You just have to be good, right? If you pick this, the pace of the game is brutal the entire way through. Let's get greedy again. bomb suit saved my life there. Oh, there I go. I perished. This is the end of the run screen. It would say victory here and not dead had I won, but I didn't. You get a little summary of your inventory and your net worth at the end. These are the tickets, the meta progression currency, and some stats about the run, right? So what shape were you playing? Square. In the early access version of the game, there is only the square, but I am planning on adding other playable characters. Runtime, which wave you died on, what level you were, how many credits you had, how many things you killed, and what it was that killed you. And you can just jump straight into another run here, which we won't be doing. Or you can go back to the main menu. And yeah, that's kind of the game, you know? This is the foundation I'm releasing into early access. I think it's fun. I think it's satisfying. If you want to 100% the game, I think it would take at least 6 hours in its current state. Yeah, I think the game is small but good and fun. You might be wondering what else is here, what else is next. I'm planning on some content updates, of course, containing just more items of all kinds, abilities, weapons, trinkets, and consumables. But the main big update I am currently focused on is the New Game Plus update. The New Game Plus update will contain 5 levels of New Game Plus difficulty levels. Each one will obviously be harder than the previous one, but also will have a unique modifier of some kind associated with it. Currently, the game has 7 bosses. The New Game Plus update will contain at least another 7 bosses and a whole new set of enemies, which will only be available in the New Game Plus modes. So yeah, New Game Plus is my current main developer focus. I have other ideas for bigger updates, like new playable characters and new game modes, entirely different game modes, and improvements to the current standard game mode, of course. But while I'm working on all of that, you can play what I just showed you very soon. Super SHAPESHOOTER launches into early access on the 12th of December 2025, and I would love for all of you to check it out. Thank you.